Hi guys, it's Ani from Create Your Future, and in today's video, I wanted to talk about a question I get asked a lot, and I know it gets confusing sometimes because we have been taught different ways to deal with this, but in today's video, we're going to be talking about how to deal with the feelings of should I text, should I not text my SP, manipulating the 3D, manipulation tactics, when, playing hard to get and stuff like that. So I want to go into that today and give you some advice and tips on that, because I know that those questions are asked, at least to me, I get those questions asked so much from clients and everyone. So I wanted to get into that, and I will be sharing more and more success stories because I have a lot of you emailing in success stories, especially those of you that have tried the courses out, the Manifest Your SP Now course and the Remove the Third Party course. I've been getting so many emails and success stories from you guys, so I will definitely share them in the next video. And don't worry, if you sent one in, I will not pass it on. I will definitely get to it. So, all right, guys, I get this question asked a lot, by my clients. Should I text him? Should I not text him? Should I text her? Should I not text her? Should I say happy birthday? Should I not say happy birthday? I want to talk to him, but I'm not going to reach out because, let him reach out to me type of stuff. So short answer is everything is what you make it mean. So if you make it mean that if you text this person, you are going to look desperate, needy, and clingy, then you absolutely are, because that person is you pushed out, and they are running off of your assumptions about everything. If you make it mean that it's no problem if I text or call or see how they're doing because it's just coming from a good intention, my intention is just to check up on them and see how they are, and you feel completely relaxed and you don't feel any resistance towards it, then that's how that person's gonna take it. It's absolutely amazing to hear from you. Wow, I'm so happy you texted, I'm so happy you called. Now, sometimes we have inspired action to do this. I know a lot of my clients say to me, one day I just felt I should message, and I was completely okay with not getting a response back. If that happened, I was completely okay with, if a few hours passed by and then I got a late response, I had no expectations. I just really wanted to message and see how they were. And what happens is when you feel that way, a lot of people ask me, should I do it? Should I not do it? Well, my answer is go for it. If you feel whatever happens after I press send, I'm okay, go for it. Most likely what's happening is you have inspired action and you have no resistance. So that's ideal. But if you're no, there's gonna text me, I'm never gonna text them, screw that, let them come to me. If you're coming from an angry place, now remember what I'm saying. I'm saying from an angry place, not from you're neutral and you just would like to be pursued. That's completely different. If you're neutral right now and you just would like to be pursued, this doesn't apply to you. But if you have this almost resentful feeling, nope, you're gonna reach out to me because screw that, I'm not gonna be over here checking up on you. If you have this type of feeling, and it's completely fine, we've all been there, right? There is resistance, and you need to work on that resistance, and you need to change your story, because you're coming from an angry place, you're coming from a resentful place, you're coming from an ego mindset, and it's pushing out lack. If you're coming from a place of I'm worthy of being pursued, that's completely different. So if any of you have a question about this, I want you to first observe your thoughts when you think about messaging, texting, calling, any of this. I want you to observe your thoughts. What do you feel? Do you feel okay with, if I message and I don't get a response, I'm not going to be triggered. I'm going to be completely fine, and I'm going to stick to my mental diet, and I'm going to know that 3D is old and it still needs some time to conform? Or are you going to get triggered? Because if you're thinking about it and you already know, like, I'm going to get triggered if I don't get a call or text back in an hour or 2 or 3, right? Then I would suggest just go back and work on your self-concept and your mental diet and affirm for SP. Because remember, you guys, do you have to take action? No, you never have to take action. Your manifestation will always come to you. But do you feel like taking inspired action? If you do, go for it, because you cannot mess this up. You cannot mess this up. And if it's coming from the heart, if you truly want to know how that person's doing and you feel okay with getting whatever response right now, you have my blessing to text and call and email, whatever. But only you would know where that feeling's coming from. If you're doing it out of a desperate feeling, most likely you will probably not get a response or a late response, right? But it's not about when you get the response. It's about what you do during that time. We never want you as clients or as viewers or whatever, we never want you to put yourself in a situation where you're going to be triggered and stay triggered. I always advise my clients, you are an adult. You are completely free to do whatever you want. There's no rules on you can text or you cannot text. You should message or you should call or you shouldn't call. There's absolutely no rules, because everything is neutral. Everything is empty. Everything is meaningless until you attach the thought to it or the assumption to it. So what thought or assumption do you think you're going to attach to it, or do you feel? Because you probably already have a feeling attached to that thought, right? About texting or calling or reaching out. So my advice to you is observe. Observe how you feel about it. If you're going to be fine after doing it and you do not feel desperate, needy, clingy, you feel like I got this regardless of what 3D shows back to me, whatever feedback I get, I got this, I'm good, because I know I still need to persist going forward, you're good. You're completely like perfect. That's a manifesting mentality. That's a creator mentality. But if you're in a, oh my God, I texted and he didn't like message me back, or she didn't message me back in the first hour, in the first day, and 2 days and 3 days, whatever, it must mean like he hates me, he doesn't want me, he never wants to have anything to do with me. Wrong, 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 wrong. You just put yourself in a situation where you reacted and you stayed reactive, right? So if you're there, and most of you are, girl, you guys, I've been there. I've been there many, many years ago. I have been there. I have questioned and contemplated for days and days and weeks. Should I text? Should I not text? Should I text? Should I not text? I've been there. I know what it feels like. My advice to you is go with what your heart says. Do not go with what these rules are of manipulation. I'm not saying be a doormat. I'm not saying be walked all over. That's completely different. But if you are trying these manipulation tactics, or I'm going to play hard to get so you come faster to me or whatever, that may work because you think it works. But the point of this video is whatever you think it will work will work. Whatever you attach the meaning to, if I do this, this will work, it will work. That's why those books on playing hard to get or think like a man or all this stuff, like I'm not putting those books down at all, because there was a time where I was trying to figure all of this out too before I knew law of assumption. I was reading all kinds of psychological books on how to get, how to be more persuasive, or how to do this, how to do that, whatever. We all been there, right? Before we get to law of assumption, before we get to the real truth, we're looking and searching for all this knowledge. So the reason why a lot of those things work is because we think it does. Because from the moment you're born till, I mean, all those years until you figure out law of assumption, you're thinking of hard to get always wins. You're thinking of like being too available is, it's clingy, it's desperate, right? So because we think that, that keeps manifesting. But the problem is, until you change your focus, you will not get a different result. So I want you guys to start viewing everything as, it's not because of the words, or it's not because of this book is a #1 best-selling psychological book on how to get any man or any woman to come to you, or it's none of that. It's as you think it's gonna work. If I do this, it's gonna work. It's gonna work. If I do this, it's gonna work. This psychological tactic will work because I read it in a #1 New York bestseller that it works. That's what makes it work. It's your perspective, your blessing that said it's gonna work is what makes it work. So I want you to start being true to yourself. Listen to your heart. If your heart says, message that person, see how they are, no hard feelings, whatever happens, happens, go for it. Practice makes perfect, you guys. Like, I've learned, and I know Amanda mentions this in her videos too, to not take things personally. Don't take anything personally, and don't make anything mean that that person's trying to hurt you. I know a lot of us go through that, right? Like, we don't get a response back after we texted, and we're like, they don't give a crap about us. They're out there living their best life, and they just saw my text, and they're not messaging me back on purpose. 99.9% of the time, that is not the truth, but your mind is playing tricks on you because you don't feel worthy enough. I'm going to say that again. Anytime you text someone, and I know this because I felt it deep down in my bones when I didn't know about law of assumption, this was my first thought. That's how I had programmed myself. This was my first thought. If I would text someone and I wouldn't get a text back right away, whether it's a SP, a friend, whatever, I would be like, look at them not texting me back. Are they trying to teach me a lesson? Are they trying to keep me on my tippy toes? Are they trying to say I'm desperate? Like, you know, why would I text someone that doesn't text me back right away? Like, I must be so pathetic. Like, all these thoughts would go through my head, and that's all from all these like psychological mind games people teach, that you got to be unavailable sometimes. If you go on a date and the date goes great, how many of you have heard this? If you go on a date and the date goes great, you don't message for 3 days, at least 72 hours. That is the biggest BS I've ever heard. If you know about law of assumption, you know that's like such a bad rule to attach to your manifestation. Like, the whole point, you guys, is this: your power. You are so powerful that whatever you say goes. And I said this in my last video. If you say something is this, like, if you assume something is true, even if it's false, you will be proven it's true. Why? Because you are God of your reality, and everything you say goes. You are God of your reality, and all your assumptions have to be proven to you that you are right, because you are God. And use that to your advantage. So if everything you say and everything you assume must be true, then assume only what serves you. Assume only the good. Assume that that person is not ignoring you. Assume that that person in that moment was busy and will get back to you as quick as they can. Or assume they love hearing from you all the time. So you may not get evidence of that right away. You may not get evidence of that first time, second time, third time, but you must get evidence of that assumption being correct and being proven that you're right. At least eventually, you have to. Because if you persist and you make those your dominant thoughts must be proven that you are right. So we are going to change the story. No one is going to think that you are desperate, needy, clingy, none of that, because you are worthy. If you message someone, they're going to look at it and be so happy that you messaged them, they're going to message you back right away. And if they don't, you're not going to react to 3D because you know better, because you know 3D has a lag time. You know your thoughts are going 1,000 miles per hour and 3D is going like 5 miles per hour. You know that. If you're into law of assumption, law of attraction, you know that because you're probably trying it out on your own, right? And please try it out on your own, guys. Practice makes perfect. Don't take anyone's word for it. I mean, yes, we are all coaches here. I'm sharing all these success stories. I have all these personal stories of mine that like everything's working out, and like you're constantly being shown all this evidence from other people, but don't just take other people's word for it. Try it out on your own. You will not learn unless you try it out on your own. A lot of breakthroughs I had was because I had to do it on my own. So what would happen was I would text that person from a state of clingy, needy, and I would get back the same feedback. Like they were proving to me that, yeah, like I'm going to text you back later. Like I don't have time for you right now, because I was seeing myself as not a priority, right? So I kept affirming, I kept changing my story regardless of the BS evidence that I would get. I changed my story, and then once, twice, 3 times, now I would get different evidence. Now I would be made a priority. Now they would be initiating the communication with me. Okay, guys, I hope this video is helpful, and I hope I'm making sense. And everything I tell you guys, I'm saying it from my personal experience and from experience with working with clients. So like we are getting the evidence, right? So once we're changing the stories, once we're persisting in our affirmations, once we're making our dominant thoughts serve us, we're getting all this great evidence back. And that's why I want to share this with you guys. If you are in a state of frustration because you don't know if should I message, should I not message, should I reach out, should I not reach out, should I call, should I say happy birthday, should I say hey, how you been, haven't seen you in quite some time, are you okay? Don't worry, just observe your thoughts. Ask yourself, if I reach out, if I don't get my expected response back right away, am I going to be okay, or am I going to be triggered and bothered? Because if you're going to be triggered and bothered, then you have to address the triggers and bothers when it happens. So you will be held accountable, and you will have to sort them out anyway. You will have to sort out your blocks anyway. So if you feel like you will be put through that and you'll be okay, go for it. If you feel like I'm going to be triggered and bothered and maybe I'll spiral, then just tell yourself, I don't even have to message or call or do anything, because you don't. I'm only saying this because I know a lot of people just want to. They truly want to just reach out. But they always ask me, Ani, but if I reach out, like, am I doing the right thing or am I doing the wrong thing? Like, am I going to look needy or desperate? See, if you're thinking from there, you're pushing that out on that person, and that person, because they're you pushed out, they will prove that you are needy and desperate some way, somehow. Maybe their words will prove it, maybe their actions, maybe their lack in responding on time, you know, or the lag, right? So it all matters on how you feel when you're going to do it, or how you've been feeling all this time. If you feel neutral, go for it. Go for it, you guys. If you feel like, no, well, I'm not going to get the response I want, then you're coming from a state of lack, and you're coming from the not living in the end of my thoughts create and my assumptions and affirmations create. You know, this manifesting journey, you guys, you will be put in many situations where you will feel down. You will have conversations with your SP where they will say your fears and negative beliefs back to you. You have to prepare yourself for those things, because you can't run from those things, because you cannot run away from your thoughts. You cannot run away from your thoughts. You cannot run away from your beliefs. People will always prove your beliefs and thoughts correct, and they will express it back to you. So discipline yourself in understanding this. Once you know that this exchange is going to happen, and I will one day somehow get my negative beliefs thrown back out to me, if you know that's going to happen, you go into this fearlessly, because you're like, whatever, like, yeah, okay, it'll happen, let it purge out, it'll happen, it's fine, but I know how to get to my desire. I can guarantee you anyone manifesting an SP or anything has had negative beliefs, has had negative assumptions, and those negative beliefs and assumptions have been thrown back at them because everyone's you pushed out, and they've had to work on themselves. But that's the beauty of it. You work on yourself, you know what to do going forward. You know, you don't get triggered anymore going forward as hard as you did back then, and you learn about yourself and you learn about your thoughts. This is how you discipline yourself. There's no other way. There's no other way. So remember, no one is trying to hurt you. No one is out there trying to hurt you. No one is out there trying to ignore you. No one is out there trying to make you feel a certain way or manipulate you. That's all BS. If you think so, then it will be so. You will be proven that back. But who first put out the thought? You did, because you're the root. You're the root of everything. So what you want to do is you want to watch your thoughts, observe them, do not absorb them, and start working on yourself. Manifesting is just like a, how should I say it? A mental diet is just like a food diet, like a health diet. It's going to be hard at first because you're going to, watch what you're, like in a regular diet, you're watching what you're eating, right? You're watching what you're putting in to be healthier, to be more conscious of what you're putting into your body so you don't hurt your body, so you make your body healthier, or maybe if you want to lose weight, right? So it feels like a discipline. It feels like, wow, I got to watch everything. I got to count these calories. I got to do this. I got to do that. And you know what? You may cheat sometimes. You may put something in your mouth that you weren't supposed to. Maybe chips or a slice of pizza or a burger or whatever on this health diet, right? But you know that just because you did that, you didn't just gain all, like, let's say you lost like 30 pounds, right? You didn't just gain all those 30 pounds back just because you ate a slice of pizza and you cheated. Same thing with the mental diet. You didn't just mess up everything just because you did something like, oh, I texted him and I didn't get a response back. What the heck did I do? You're not starting from zero. You just observing your thoughts, and you're like, why am I thinking this way? Why am I thinking like I messed up because I texted this person? You can't mess up because you're the one that attaches the rules to everything. Once you make it a rule that I messed up, then the 3D will prove to you that you messed up. Something must happen in your 3D for you to be proven you messed up. But if you don't want it, don't even put that rule out there. I hope this video was helpful, you guys. And I've been there. I know it's hard. Those thoughts, those feelings, maybe you feel desperate, maybe you feel like, oh, my self-concept is not there, maybe you feel like I'm putting someone else on a pedestal. You guys, it's fine, it's normal. We all go through that, but this is how you learn. This is how you learn what to do going forward, and I'm happy to be here in order to help you with this advice and these tips that I went through and that I got success from, and I want to help you guys now too. So again, thank you for everyone sending in those beautiful success stories of just our one-on-one sessions, even the courses that you guys are taking. I know you guys can't, if you can't get a time with me, like a lot of people are taking the courses and they're getting success without even talking to me. So beautiful. I love all of you guys. If you guys need anything, coaching, courses, they're all going to be in the description box down below. We are also having a giveaway. You can win three free coaching sessions. What you have to do is comment, share your manifesting journey with us under any of the videos, subscribe to our channel, And you guys, again, I love you all so very much. I intend every single one of you watching this video just resonates, and I intend every single one of you watching this video knows deep down that you are God. And even if you don't, you're still going to get your manifestation. I've gotten so many manifestations not believing in them, and I'm still getting them. But you're doing the work. Do you have to necessarily believe that you're going to be the millionaire, or believe that you're going to be in a committed relationship with your SP? No, you don't have to believe it, and you don't have to feel it. That's been proven so many times through the success stories, through my life in general. But you do have to do the work. You do have to change your dominant thoughts. You do have to, repeat your new story. You have to bring in all these new dominant thoughts that serve you, and your subconscious will start taking it in like a sponge. Because thought transfer is real. That's what manifesting is. Thought transfer. Everyone is you pushed out. That's thought transfer. Again, you guys, I intend every single one of you watching our videos, or this video, is confident. I intend this motivates you to keep going. I will not let you give up. I say it in almost every single one of my video. If you feel like giving up, you're not going to give up. Not on my watch. Not on my watch. You're not going to give up. I promise you. If I gave up, I wouldn't even be here sharing all these success stories with you guys. So no giving up. Nope. You guys got this. You got this. All right, guys. I will see you in the next video. Love you all.